So, first live on YouTube. Yep. Just try to get this set up as much as I can. Ooh, what are these? Yeah, we're probably just gonna stick with no filter today. Yeah. Okay. Let's get this on. Okay. Alright. So, first live on YouTube. I'm pretty excited about that. But I kind of want to talk about my mental health and how things have progressed into this big problem. So I've been through a lot of experiences, some of which I'm still healing from today. Others I've healed from and moved on. But there's this one specific wound that now this was a wrong move. I decided to push this wound to the side, and it's kind of bled into my other relationships, like my friendships, my dating life. I was friends with this guy who turned out to be, in lack of a better word, an asshole. I won't say his name because he doesn't deserve to be publicly humiliated. And it's best if, his name remains private for the time being. But I didn't know that he was, in terms of how I was being treated as his friend, let's just say it wasn't great, and no one should be treated like that at all. About, I want to say around 15 or 16, or maybe 14, he came into this group of friends, online and in person. So he would talk to them online and sometimes meet them in person. And, at first, nothing much changed in terms of his actions and how he treated his other friends. But as time went on, I felt like he was starting to change into this person who I wasn't going to end up recognizing. And there was a lot of things that happened. So I actually got a chance to meet several of his online friends in person more than once. But one of them, he was just really rude. Essentially, I was having a rough time while I was at my friend's house, and you know, through the door, I hear my friend's online friend um, say, "She's so annoying, she should go herself." And I could hear it very clearly. And my friend, or who I called a friend at that point, stood up for me, and that was the last time he ever stood up for me. That is the last time I ever heard him defend me. And it was pretty much the last time I actually saw him as a friend. The years after that incident were the most cruel. I started to feel like I wasn't a good enough friend for him, that I didn't deserve any kind of happiness or affection of any kind. He then became, I'm not sure if demanding is the right word, but he essentially had me do a lot of the homework assignments that both of us were supposed to do. There was a homework assignment where we both were supposed to do research on a topic for debate. And I came up with all of these reliable sources and all of this evidence to back up the other sources together. And he basically took one source that I had, one quote, and then discarded all the rest, not even bothering to look at it. And he just had one source for all the other parts of the debate. And the day of our scheduled debate, I accidentally mixed up which team we were on. Because I was new to debate, I didn't know which side we were supposed to go on. So then he kind of jokingly said, "How could you forget, or how could you mix things up like this?" And I felt terrible because I genuinely thought that I had assigned the paper to the right thing. So we then, luckily our teacher understood and rescheduled the debate. But I felt so bad, and I even had several breakdowns rewriting the whole debate and checking it. And then when the day of the debate came, bear in mind, my teacher was a little not fair because she basically said everyone was a winner, which sucked because it's like we didn't do anything. But after the fact, my friend basically said he did 70% of the work. That's most of the work if you do math. He basically said that I did nothing, which hurt because I had gone through the trouble of finding all of these sources and all of this material. He discarded it. And then I had to help rewrite the entire debate. And not only did I have to help rewrite it, I had to use an app to help check all of the grammar that he missed. Because, bear in mind, this guy's grammar was atrocious. There were things that were misspelled. There were commas not in the right space. There were several sentences that didn't make any sense. And yet he has the audacity to say that he did most of the work. That made me both angry and frustrated. Because here you have a friend that I've known for 16 years. Bear in mind, I'm 18. I'm no longer friends with this guy. It's been 2 years. But I was friends with this guy for 16 years. 16 years. This guy has been with me through thick and thin, has been there for me when I needed it, and I've been there for him. There were times where he felt like he was at his lowest, and I was there. I felt like this was a genuine friendship, and I was willing to keep it at that. But the fact that he was so egotistical, for lack of a better term, he felt like he had to be the best, because in his family, he's the middle child. He's got 2 older siblings, 2 younger siblings. He's directly in the middle. Now, I don't know why he treated me that badly. So, it might have just been his friend group, but, yeah, it wasn't great the last 3 years of our friendship. So from 13 to 16. I believe. So there was, I think the thing that really hurt me the most about what this guy did, what hurt the most was the fact that I came over along with my parents and my siblings, and I kind of talked to him. He's live on YouTube, and I think Twitch, I'm not entirely sure. So he's live, and he's, having some gameplay. He's playing Minecraft, he's talking with his friends, but he has headphones on. So I have no idea what his friends are saying on the other side of the channel. So I'm basically talking to my friend, he's talking back, he's talking to my friends. I hear him say a joke, and I think it's all fun and games, that kind of stuff. But what I came to find out was that his friends were making fun of me. And that joke that I heard was directed at me. They were making fun of how I sounded, basically saying that I sounded like an annoying kid, which at the time, that was slightly true. I was a bit annoying because, again, I'm homeschooled. I've always been homeschooled. So my social interactions were almost next to none. So I find this out, and of course I'm upset. I'm very upset. And this is what led me to harming myself. Because all I hear are their words and his words playing out in my head. That is all I'm hearing. Because I think I'm not good enough. Hearing that and knowing that, I'm not sure if this video still exists, but if I find it, I'm definitely going to address it, because that was the most hurtful thing that my friend could have done, was publicly humiliate me in front of hundreds of people who watch his videos. And I felt like I shouldn't exist. Like I shouldn't be here. So, with that being like that was being the first crack in my mental health. And it was devastating. With all my other traumas, I was able to handle because they were small and easy to deal with. But this, I trusted this friend with every secret. Every secret. I trusted him with my life. And he betrayed that. He betrayed that trust. It still makes me angry just even seeing him. I don't even want to look at him. I don't even want to hear about him. The things that I hear about him now are mainly him just doing some stupid things that most teenagers shouldn't do. But with that trust broken, it kind of sent me into this mental spiral of hurting myself every time that I was hurt. And I'm going to be honest, I was not the one who officially ended things. He was. Because he decided to cut me out of his friend group. Which, looking back, I'm glad he did. I'm actually relieved that he did. Because being his friend now, I probably would not be here talking with this community that I love, that I admire, and that has inspired me to create more. And it's hard kind of talking about him. I'm holding back tears, but you can't see through the glasses. It's been a rough 2 years. And the fact that I let this get so out of hand with pushing this wound aside, this betrayal aside, I basically did something that you should never do especially with a mental wound. You never, ever push a mental wound to the side. This goes for guys and girls. Never set your wound aside, because it will bleed into your life more and more if left unchecked. I've experienced this because I took this betrayal. Because trust to me is very important. And sometimes there are times where I can't trust others because I'm scared. And when I'm scared, it's kind of hard to trust until I get the full story. Because if I have the full story, I can understand which sides are telling the truth. But my friend's betrayal to me and what he did was very, very wrong. It devastated me to the point where I was actually contemplating ending everything. I even wrote him a letter that I was going to let my parents give him when I passed. But when I finally snapped out of it, when I finally snapped out of ending everything, I burned that letter. I burned it. Because I realized that I shouldn't end my life for someone so stupid. Even now, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I regret being his friend. I don't fully regret it, because there was a time where he was actually kind and caring before he met this friend group. But right now, I regret being his friend. I regret wasting my life and energy on him and having to suffer through this mental wound. But I'm glad that I'm not alone. I've got people who are trying to keep me alive, who are trying to keep me safe. Even though I'm kicking and screaming because I don't like it. I understand that what they are doing is helpful. My parents are trying to see if I can be able to take antidepressants so that I can be a better version of myself and accept myself in a way. Because I've had trouble like being hang on, I've got to turn this off. So hopefully I can get the help that I need and heal this wound that he caused. Because not only did this betrayal affect me, it has affected everyone I care about. This wound that I pushed aside has bled into my relationships with my friends, with my community, with my love life. It has made me doubt whether I'm a good person or not. It has made me think that I am not good enough for my friends that they deserve to be friends with someone else. So I'm not going to be posting as much. I'll try to post some videos, but it's not going to be frequent like it used to be when I first started. But I'm hoping that this mental break, this mental journey, helps me, and hopefully I can be in a better place to where I can, go on dates without having to worry, are they going to turn out like him? Are they going to be just like him? Am I going to see him in that person? Because that's been a problem when I'm dating someone, is when they say something or do something that reminds me of this friend who betrayed me. I panic. And I try to inform them. And of course they say, "Oh, I'm not him. I'm never going to treat you like he did." But that's not what I'm hearing. That's not what I'm seeing. I still see and hear him. The pain that I went through has messed me up so much. I'm still struggling with my mental health. Today I contemplated hurting myself again, and I informed my parents that I was feeling this way. I felt like, I should be in an institution where I can get help. But from what I was hearing from both my other friend, who is a really nice friend, she's been in an institution before, and she said it was a pretty bad experience for her. And my mom has had several of her friends and even her sister go to an institution, and they all hated it. So yeah, it's been a really hard go, but I'm not doing this for attention. I'm just saying, if there are others out there who have had a similar experience, you are not alone in this. Alright? You're not alone. You have never been alone. Because you have others who are like you, who are struggling as much as you. But if you surround yourself with good people, they can give you the strength to get the help you need. Which is why I'm glad I have such a good group of friends. They don't tell me that harming myself is selfish, or that I shouldn't, or that I should keep in mind of my family and friends. What people assume is that people harm themselves for attention, and that they're selfish and rude and unfeeling towards their relatives or their friends. What people don't see is that harming yourself is like an addiction. You want to stop, but you can't. And it's difficult to live with that, especially when people, can see your scars. when I was working in Hershey Park, I saw several girls who had deep scars, deeper than mine. I didn't say anything, but I admired their strength. And if I ever saw these girls again, I would hug them if they allowed it, because consent. I would give them a hug and I would tell them, I'm thankful that you are still alive. I thank the universe, I thank God that you are still alive. And I think that if you know someone who is going through this, I think them hearing that would make some difference. Because most of the time, people who are harming themselves are trying to redirect pain. Mental pain is so hard to deal with that it hurts too much. So you redirect it with physical pain. Because we as humans, we can deal with physical pain. We've found ways to deal with physical pain. Mental pain is something different. It's something we're not used to. Heck, we've had like hundreds and years of people who suffer from mental pains, and yet we still don't know what to do. Now, I'm no expert in mental health. This is just my experience. I have always tried to see the good in this planet. And sometimes I do. If you lay down in a forest and just look up, you can admire the way the light reflects off the trees, the way it casts its shadow. And this goes for any season. Like when it's raining, you can admire how the rain looks under the forest canopy. Peaceful. And you feel like you're in your own world. Music also helps. People that I've met are mainly people who lead with their head. They say to lead with your head and not with your heart. Or follow your heart, but not your head. What people should do is listen to both and have them coincide with each other. Because there are some things that your heart knows that your mind doesn't. And some things that your mind knows but your heart doesn't. So if you follow both and listen to both, you can feel more at ease. Sure, heartbreak and grief are hard. They're difficult. They always have been. And when you love. When you hear from a person that you love and this person is just so amazing, and in your head you think, wow, this is the person I want to spend my life with. This is the person that will be my ride or die. this is the person that I will follow to the ends of the earth. This is someone I'm willing to give my whole heart to. And then they break it. That kind of heartbreak hurts like hell. It is its own kind of hell. Because it feels like your heart is on fire. And your mind is trying to put out the flame. It's trying its best. Music calms down the raging storm just a bit to where you can get your thoughts in order. But it doesn't cure that burning feeling. Because if you don't have a playlist that is full of songs that are completely different, songs that you have never listened to with that person, you're still going to feel that pain because you're listening to songs that remind you of them. Songs that you danced to, songs that you sang to. Those memories are going to make that pain feel a little worse or a little easier, depending. If they were a truly good person, listening to songs that remind you of them and brings back all of these wonderful memories, keep those. Keep those memories, because then you get to tell, your kids, this is someone I love, and they treated me well, and they made me feel safe. Because I know that Gen Z, especially, is a little hesitant in terms of having kids. But I can imagine what future generations are gonna think about us. Especially those who admire us for our strength in both physical and mental strength. Now, one thing that makes me so upset with this generation is it's still hard for guys to open up. Because guys try to open up, but then are shamed by either other guys or women who say that he's too soft, that he's too childish, or that, he should be more of a man. Here's the thing. A guy doesn't necessarily define a man. There's masculine and feminine energy, strong and flexible, strong and smart. And me being so empathic with humans, and with anything really, it hurts me to know that we treat each other this badly. If women are saying that men and women should be equal, then do so. Treat them equally. If a girl is allowed to get mental health and allowed to break down in public, so should a guy. A guy should be allowed to let his feelings out, not have them caged, and then have them being lashed out when he's angry. And if a woman wants to be treated with respect, a guy should also be treated with respect. Respect is earned, not given. Which means if you lose someone's respect, you have to earn that respect back. Like, I have a huge respect for men. Now, I'm not saying all men. I'm saying some, because bear in mind there are some men in this world who are total assholes. Now, for the women who call me anti-feminist, no, I still believe that women should have equal rights as men, but there are some things a woman can't do that a man can do. Now, there's a difference between all and some. See, all, that includes everybody, including the good guys. So, and then there's some. Now, some men are assholes. That's not saying all men are assholes. There's a difference. See, women saying that all men are pigs, which I've seen the signs, I've seen them. Women saying that all men are pigs, that includes everyone. That's basically saying that your own father is a pig. That's saying that your brother is a pig. That's saying that your cousins are pigs. Saying all does not exclude your family. Saying some, now that puts it in a category. Now I know I'm getting off topic from mental health, but we'll circle back to that. Now, I know that there's a difference between men's mental health and women's mental health. I know that there's a difference, but it's still mental health. See, men, by the time you know that they have mental health issues, it's already too late. Because they're struggling to get things in order. They're struggling to get a grasp of something to help them heal. With women, because they let their emotions out more often, they tend to get help sooner. This is just something I've observed. I'm not saying that this is... I know nothing about every guy's mental health and every girl's mental health. I'm just saying this is something that I've observed with our society. Like, I'm really hoping that I can create a safe space for both men and women. Because, you know, we're all human. We're all people. We're all the same race. See, what I really don't like in this society is we've defined cultures as a race. Like people who are black, people who are Asian, people who are Hispanic, or, you know, any different culture. Now, hate me if I'm wrong, but I see every person as a human being. Whether you're black, white, Asian, or any type of culture, you are human. You will always be human. Anybody who tells you otherwise is kidding themselves. They are dehumanistic. Every single living person deserves the same respect as any other. Now I fully support the Black Lives, because their history is dark. They have been treated so horribly throughout history. Now, I do not say that they are their own race. They are their own group of people. They have their own cultures. They have their own beliefs. See, we shouldn't be using terms like racist because that is saying that, oh, you're not part of my race. What we should be saying is dehumanistic or dehumanist, because you are basically taking another human being and putting them below you. That is something that makes me very upset, because God made us in His image. Now that includes every single person on the planet. We are all made in a holy image. Now, whether you believe in God or not, you are made unique. You are made to be special. Now, I'm trying to get as much information out there as possible. I'm talking about many subjects in this stream, not just my journey. I want to include everybody, of every culture, of every religion, of every sexuality even, because I'm bisexual. I like women and men. What's your point? Now, chances are I'm going to get hate, but I will treat others the way I want to be treated. I will treat others with respect if they do so in return. I will love people if they love me as well. I will compliment people if they compliment me. Yeah, I will give information or tips to people that are really nice and kind and thoughtful. But people who are mean and cruel, now those people I will have a serious talk with. Because I have tolerated with mean comments. I have done all my life. Because I was the social outcast. I've always been a social outcast. I've been a weirdo all my life. I'm a nerd as well. Because I like things like Avatar: The Last Airbender, Percy Jackson, Doctor Who. I love all of these different things that technically make me a nerd. And I accept that. I'm weird. Weird is fun. You know, no one wants to be normal. I mean, normal's overrated anyways. It's fun to be unique. Sure, you'll get bullied for it. Sure, people will make fun of you for it. But that is because they are either jealous or they want to bring you down because they don't like the fact that you are brave enough to be unique. Now, if you take someone's comment about how you act or how you look internally, that is going to hurt you more than what they actually said. Now, if you hear someone say a mean comment about you, you can process it, understand it, and ignore it, or you can internalize it and have it loop in your head, like I did with, my friend and his group who made fun of me in public or on a public site. Now, I can't say that things will get easier, especially for people who struggle with mental health or problems dealing with culture or bullies or anything. I can't say it'll get easier because I don't know. I'm not going to claim that I know everything. I'm human. I don't know everything. Now, I trust you guys enough to let you guys into my life. This is something that I've been wanting to do for years. I've been wanting to share my experiences with the world. I've been wanting to hopefully meet people that I've admired for years. Like, I hope one day I meet Dan TDM, or Tommy in it, or Sam and Colby, or Call Me Chris, or Lindsay Sterling. Especially Lindsay Sterling, she's beautiful, especially her music. Her music is amazing. I will be completely honest. In fact, when I start posting actual videos or doing more live streams here, I will actually select one person that I admire every time, and I will link their channel so that you can subscribe to them, so that you can see the stuff that they do. And I want to be able to let everyone know that these are the people that I admire. These are the people that helped me grow. These are the people that I grew up watching. And it's kind of weird seeing the lives of the YouTubers and the artists that I grew up watching. Like, Dan TDM has kids now. That is something I never would expect to happen when I first started watching him 10 years ago. So, or, no wait, 11. Actually, it's been 11 years. But I'm hoping that one day I get to meet these people, and I hope that, one day I'll get to meet all of my fans as well. So I want this to be something that you all enjoy. So if you ever feel like you're drowning, you feel like there's nothing you can do. Actually, hang on. I'm actually going to get something, and it has a quote that I read to myself almost every day. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. I should probably turn on the light. I can't see anything. Alright, where did I put it? Oh, it's upstairs. I'll be right back. Alrighty. Okay, I'm back. Okay. So, the quote that I now, this was when a false accusation came up about me. So, I don't know if this was God or a thought process, but something told me to go to Psalms chapter 27, verse 2. Now, this is just my edition. Don't know if you have the same. So, chapter 27, verse 2. When the wicked advance against me to devour me, it is my enemies and my foes who will stumble and fall. So, essentially, if someone says something or does something to you, eventually their life will crumble. Everything in their life will fall apart. Because karma is real. In fact, that's part of life, is that things balance out. Balance is part of life. So when something bad happens, something good will also happen. You might not realize that it's good until later. That's the thing. I hope you guys have a lovely evening. And for those of you who haven't already done so, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Good night.